What are you watching?
What are you watching? Elodie, le film!
I still remember the day I walked into the Millennium Central Downtown, Dubai, a place that promised luxury and comfort, but delivered only despair and frustration. As I stepped into the grand lobby, I was immediately struck by the eerie feeling of being in a dingy, neglected space. The once white walls now wore a dull grayish hue, like a forgotten memory. I felt like I was walking into a forgotten dream, one that had lost its sparkle long ago. As I approached the reception desk, I was greeted by a receptionist who seemed as uninterested in my presence as a sleepy cat on a lazy afternoon. Her eyes, glassy and unfocused, barely registered my existence. I had to repeat my question 3 times before she finally nodded, her movements as stiff as a rusty gate. I felt like I was disturbing her from a nap, and my excitement to check in was quickly replaced with a sense of unease. The room, oh, the room. It was a tiny, cramped space that reeked of stale air and broken promises. The bed, a narrow, creaky affair, looked like it had seen better days. The sheets, once crisp and white, now felt like sandpaper against my skin. I tried to imagine a comfortable night's sleep, but it was like trying to picture a unicorn prancing on a rainbow-colored cloud, a lovely idea, but utterly impossible. And then, there was the bathroom. A tiny, cubicle-like space that seemed to shrink further with each glance. The shower, a trickle of lukewarm water, felt like a sadistic joke. I stood under it, feeling like a prisoner in a damp, dingy cell. The towels, thin and scratchy, might as well have been made of sandpaper. I felt like I was drying myself off with a Brillo pad. But it was the little things that really got to me. The lack of hand soap, the missing hairdryer, the empty water bottles. It was like they wanted me to feel like a beggar, scrounging around for scraps. I felt like I was in a bad dream, one that I couldn't wake up from. And then, there was the breakfast. Oh, the breakfast. A soggy, congealed mess of eggs and bacon, served with a side of stale bread and a drizzle of apathy. It was like they had taken all the leftover ingredients from the previous day's meals, thrown them together in a sad, pathetic mess, and served it up with a flourish. I felt like I was eating at a bad cafeteria, not a luxury hotel. But it wasn't just the food, it was the service. The staff, slow and sullen, moved around like zombies, their eyes glazed over with a mix of boredom and disdain. They seemed to resent my presence, like I was an unwelcome guest at a party they didn't want to attend. I felt like I was bothering them, like I was an annoyance they couldn't wait to get rid of. As I sat in my room, feeling like a prisoner in a dingy, cramped cell, I couldn't help but wonder, what happened to the Millennium Central Downtown, Dubai? What happened to the luxury and comfort they promised? It was like they had taken all the broken dreams and shattered hopes of their guests, thrown them together in a sad, pathetic mess, and served it up as a luxury experience. I felt like I was in a nightmare, one that I couldn't wake up from. A nightmare of broken promises and shattered dreams. And as I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, I knew I would never forget this place. This place that promised so much, but delivered so little. Can you believe it, guys? Have you ever had an experience like this? Share your stories in the comments below. The dark side of businesses near Millennium Central Downtown, Dubai. Businesses near Millennium Central Downtown, Dubai are a minefield of disappointments, where high prices, poor service, and outright scams hide behind the glitter of the city. If you're staying here, brace yourself. The moment you step outside your hotel, you'll enter a world where logic takes a vacation, and common decency is an optional extra. Let's start with shopping. Dubai Mall, the so-called crown jewel, is less a shopping paradise and more an exhausting maze designed to trap you. Visitors complain about the sheer size. Walking from one end to the other feels like a desert trek without water. And good luck finding your car afterward. The parking system is so confusing. People joke that the mall secretly sells lost car insurance. One guest took a photo of their parking spot, exact row, exact level, and still wandered for 30 minutes like a ghost in purgatory. Then there's the security. A pregnant woman, struggling to walk, was denied a shortcut by a guard who repeated the word management like a broken robot. No empathy, no exceptions, just rigid indifference. And don't even think about using the metro unless you're a couple or a family. Solo travelers? Prepare to be redirected through emergency exits, construction zones, and what feels like a secret loyalty test. Hungry? Ashiana, a nearby Indian restaurant, serves disappointment on a platter. The food is either tasteless or arrives so late you'll forget why you ordered it. One group waited 2 hours before canceling their main course out of sheer starvation. And if you're celebrating a special occasion? Good luck. A birthday party of 20 left with half the guests still hungry because the portions were smaller than the manager's sense of hospitality. Need coffee? Percent Arabica at JBR will charge you luxury prices for what tastes like warm milk with a coffee-scented whisper. Order an iced drink? You might get handed a bill for 300 Emirati dirhams and a refusal to refund even when they haven't started making it. The staff? Rude, distracted, and seemingly allergic to basic customer service. One visitor holding a baby asked for help carrying drinks to their table. The response? Silence. Not even a glance. Now, the nightlife. Ushuaia Dubai Harbour is where dreams of a fun night go to die. Imagine paying 350 Emirati dirhams for entry, another 300 Emirati dirhams for parking, and then spending the entire evening in lines to top up a wristband, lines for overpriced drinks, lines to escape. The venue is so overcrowded, one attendee didn't even see Calvin Harris perform, just heard a distant thump of bass between security shouting matches. And if you dare ask for a refund after their system steals your money, you'll be laughed at by a manager who's clearly mastered the art of not caring. Even spas aren't safe. The spa at address downtown once told a guest they'd only get half their paid massage because they were late even though they weren't. The therapist argued, the staff whispered in front of them, and the promised apology email? Lost in the void, just like their dignity. And finally, the Eder Dubai, a sustainable clothing store, where the only thing green is the lack of staff. Walk in, and you'll be greeted by silence. No help, no service, just the eerie feeling that you've stumbled into a retail ghost town. What does this all mean? If you're staying at Millennium Central Downtown, Dubai, expect to pay premium prices for mediocrity, navigate absurd systems, and encounter service that ranges from indifferent to hostile. The area thrives on tourists who don't know better, so now you do. Recommendations? Research before spending. Avoid peak hours at Dubai Mall. Skip Ashiana unless you enjoy culinary regret. And if you see a wristband payment system, run. Your wallet and sanity will thank you. This isn't just bad service. It's a warning. Tread carefully. Okay, so I was, looking into things happening around Millennium Central Downtown, Dubai. It's kinda depressing, honestly. You wouldn't believe the stuff people get up to. It's supposed to be this fancy area, you know? But it's not always what it seems. Businesses around there, a lot of them look really professional, like super impressive offices in towers like Musala Tower. They try to seem legit, all shiny and important. But sometimes, it's just a front. There was this brokerage firm, Sigma One Capital. People, tourists mostly, would go to their office, meet with people who said they worked there, and invest money. They promised huge returns, quick money. Can you believe that? Too good to be true, right? And then, poof. The office just vanished. Gone. Millions of dirhams just disappeared. I bet those people were devastated. Probably spent their whole vacation savings. And the people who ran it? They're probably living it up somewhere else now, honestly. I bet they just moved on to another scam, another fancy office. Then, it's like, there's this other thing. Businesses around Millennium Central, the shopping areas especially, are just full of people trying to, well, use people. There were these stories about women visiting Dubai, and men pretending to be rich, and taking them shopping. They convince them to buy expensive gifts, perfumes, luxury stuff, saying it's for family. Then, the woman finds out the gifts are for someone else. Or they ask for money, sell cars. It's awful. How could someone do that? I would be so confused and angry. I bet those women felt so betrayed, and probably lost a lot of money. The scammers? They're probably still out there, charming other tourists. It's just sad. And it's not just romance scams. There were these fake investment offices, several of them, in prime locations near downtown. Actual offices with people sitting there. They'd invite you in, make it all look official, get you to sign paperwork and hand over your money. They even had names like .fx and Core Financial Markets, trying to sound trustworthy. But they weren't registered, nothing. They'd take the money and disappear overnight. Investors, including tourists on short stays, lost everything. You know what probably happened? They probably thought they were making a smart investment. It's just, they were tricked. The scammers, they probably had fake passports, changed their names, and are probably running another scam somewhere else right now, laughing at everyone. There was even a case where an entire brokerage just vanished, taking millions from Indian tourists. They'd visited the office in Dubai specifically to make their investments. Vanished, just like that. All the records gone. Can you imagine being on vacation, and losing all your money like that? It would ruin everything. They likely had to borrow money to come back home, and some might have ended up stuck there. And those people who ran the brokerage? They're probably long gone, living on a beach somewhere, not even thinking about the people they hurt. It makes me feel sick, you know?